Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 is written and directed by James Gunn, and we finally get to talk about this movie! Guardians of the Galaxy is my favorite Marvel film of all time and possibly in my top 25 favorite films ever. I love the first Guardians of the Galaxy. And this Guardians of the Galaxy takes place just months after saving Xandar at the end of the first Guardians film. They're acting as mercenaries to the Sovereign, a race of golden aliens who are very douchey and need to have everything 100% perfect all the time. But when one of the Guardians steals something from the Sovereign send their entire fleet to chase down the Guardians, where the Guardians meet up with Ego, this being who is claiming to be Star-Lord's father. And from then on, this film is about family, and not in the same way that The Fate of the Furious was. This is about a father and a son reconnecting together. This is about sisters fighting it out in Nebula and Gamora. This is about Drax remembering his family after the events of the first film when we find out that Ronan the Accuser killed them. And these were the strongest points of this film for me. The dynamic between all the members of this team, both old and new, are all fantastic. This is the best part of the film for me. Everyone put in an incredible performance, but the standout to me in this film was Yondu, played by Michael Rooker. Michael Rooker was fantastic as Yondu in the first film, but in this film he really brings it. He had the best arc. He was my favorite character in this film, and I loved him so much. Kurt Russell really was, I think, the best person for this role. His chemistry with Chris Pratt throughout this film was fantastic. That was really the most important dynamic that they had to get down, and they nailed it perfectly. But like I was mentioning earlier, when I say this film is about family, I really do mean it's about family. There are more family relations in this film than just Ego and Star-Lord. This film really has a sisterly dynamic between Nebula and Gamora as well, and what they're going through after being Thanos' daughters. There's a dynamic between the entire team, and a couple of them are warring with each other throughout, and they're saying that they're family, but they're not really acting like it. There's family dynamic throughout, and it all works perfectly. Drax, when it comes to comedy, stole the show during this film. He was absolutely hilarious. He only has one action scene in the film that's at the beginning, minor spoiler for you guys, I'm sorry, but they make up for that in this film by making him one of the funniest characters in the film. But when he had to be serious, he became serious at times. And Dave Bautista did a fantastic job at playing both the funny man and performing in these very serious situations. And Baby Groot. What can I say about Baby Groot? He was adorable, but he was also used perfectly. I got the right dosage of Baby Groot in this, and there is actually a very funny post-credit scene with him in it that I thought was hilarious. And all the Easter eggs in this film, you can tell James Gunn loves this universe. The casual film goer will not get a lot of these references, but people who follow the Marvel Cosmic Universe will get a ton of them instantly, and they're just little things peppered in where it doesn't detract from the story, but gives us fans who follow this kind of thing a little bit extra. Now, I gotta get to my one big negative for this film, and that is the Sovereign. There was really only one thing with them that worked for me, and that was their ships and how those worked. And I thought that was a really fun little thing that they did in the film. But overall, nothing else worked. This movie's plot was very choppy, and that's mostly every time that they show up in the film. They kind of just show up like, hey, we're here, you're supposed to fight us, when in reality, this film isn't about fighting the Sovereign, it's about a father and son relationship along with other familial ties, and when the Sovereign pop up, that really takes away from that. I do take back my comment earlier where there was only one thing that worked for them though, and there's two things that work. The second thing that worked for me was their post-credits scene. I thought that was awesome. But overall, the Sovereign did not work, and they're actually a bigger part of this movie than I thought they should be, and they're a big enough part where the fact that almost none of it worked for me, it's gonna dock a ton from this. But I still overall loved Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. It's all about family, and all the familial stuff really worked for me. I'm gonna give Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 a B+. And really, the only thing that's taking that down to a B+ for me is the Sovereign. If they were out of this movie almost entirely, it would be an A+ film. Guys, it's good to be back. I know I haven't really reviewed a new movie recently. This is the first one in almost over a month. No, it was over a month. But next week I will have my King Arthur Legend of the Sword review for you guys, as well as a big review for 5. That's right, I'm going to be doing 5 Alien films at one time, going up to Alien Covenant. And I wanted you guys to know that my Alien Covenant review is going to be coming out late. I'm going out for work. I will be gone for 10 days. You guys won't get anything in that time, but hopefully when I get back, I'll be able to get you guys my Alien Covenant review as soon as possible. You guys are the best. Thank you so much for joining me. If you guys like this, you can like and subscribe. I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.